And welcome to Geekflix. Tonight we're reviewing a Patreon special. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
We're doing RRR. This is Will.
This is Steve.
And this is Sean.
And a little synopsis, I guess, on RRR for those that haven't seen this movie. This movie is 3 hours and 20 minutes long. It was a long movie.
Long fucking movie.
During the British era, Molly, a small tribal girl, is taken away by British Governor Scott Buxton and his wife Catherine against the wishes of her mother. Rama is an Indian cop who works for the British Army. For him, his duty comes first, and he is very ruthless to the revolutionary Indians, but is never given his due by the British government. The British government find that a tribal man, Beam, who considers Molly his sister, has started his search for her and could be an obstacle for the British Army. The governor and his wife announce a special post for any officer that can bring Beam to them. Rama decides to take the matters into his own hands and promises the government to bring him in dead or alive. Beam by now has reached the city
Jesus Christ.
for Molly and pretends to be a mechanic, Akhtar. During a train accident on the lake, he and Rama risk their lives to save a kid and become best friends. But each man will clash with the other while each thirst for each other's blood in order to complete their missions.
It's a long-ass synopsis.
It is a long-ass synopsis.
Elevator pitch. A long-ass synopsis for a long-ass movie.
Right, and it stars, Ray Stevenson's in this. I did not know that. All of a sudden, he shows up right in the beginning. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I didn't know anybody else, but I knew Ray Stevenson. And I was like, R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. It's good to see you, my friend. But yeah, so RRR. Steve, what'd you think of RRR?
I've heard about this movie for a minute. Heard it was good on the action scale. I've seen the opening scene in shots here and there. You know, they released that clip. I've seen it on Facebook and stuff. There's a cultural divide that happens with me and certain Indian films and Korean films and such. Because I don't understand certain, like, I was really confused about the story, like at first, like only because I'm like when he was like, "Oh my God, you're Beam," I was like, "Wait, what? Wait, you didn't? Wait, you didn't know? Like, you had a whole police sketch you had of him, and you were like on the motorcycle with him, like looking at his face. What this? Like, come on, bro. Like, anyways, and but what I mean about cultural differences is like the way that these two men show friendship is not a way that two men in America would show friendship.
What are you talking about? I would have put you on my shoulders and run around all over the world.
The way they be crying and looking in each other's eyes and like.
I do that to Sean every time he's here.
Look, man. I appreciate that they can have that sort of relationship and it's not weird, but that's the kind of shit that might get you slapped out here. So you got to be careful. It's just, there's that cultural difference where every while I'm like, is this a gay movie or not? And it's not. You know, it's very straight. Well, is it the story of two men in love? Is it Brokeback Mountain in India? It's not. It's fucking.
I didn't pick up that at all, Steve. I just thought that they were friends.
They slow motion walked under the water to get and like smiling at each other, looking each other in the eyes, just to dap each other up underwater.
They were happy dudes, man. They was happy dudes.
In America, men are depressed. If you happy like that, looking at another man,
I'm happy like that, looking at you two all the time. What are you telling me?
It's just different cultural shit, man. I can't look at another man like that. If another man was looking at me like that, I'd be fucking. I might get a little sideways about it.
He's not wrong, though.
I'm just trying to prove a point.
I don't really want motherfucker looking at me like that either. I get it, though. I get it.
I was just trying to prove I admired their relationship. I actually was really touched. At a certain point towards the end, they were like, he was like, when old boy sees the fiance lady and she tells him, and like his face when he notices when he realizes everything that happened, I started to like genuinely tear up. I was like, oh my God, this movie got me. Holy shit.
Oh man.
I thought, oh, Bollywood, like song and dance, lots of singing and dancing. There's a big dance number in the middle of the movie. It's like 15 minutes long. I fucking loved it.
Which is insane because I
It
thought
was so
that's
much
where
fun.
that movie was gonna
This
lose
motherfucker
you.
hate shit like that, dog.
I know.
I didn't like the one at the end that was cut into the end bits of the story. Like I watched the first
The end
little
credits?
bit.
You mean?
No, not
Like
the
the-
end credits. Once the credits started, the song and dancing is over.
There was a
But
movie at the end. There was a whole song and dance at the end. Though.
But that was kind of the end credits. Like
I
that,
know,
you know,
that's
they,
not-
But
they
there was no credits
and-
showing. But there was
Right, I
scenes
get
and
there's no
scenes
credits,
sprinkled
but, yeah.
through. I tried to skip through the singing and dancing through that because that was just that was full display.
I liked it. I don't know. I liked it.
I was running short on time a little. You saw I made it on here with 5 minutes to spare. I had to skip through some shit.
I get that.
But I thought the action. I thought it was all. You know why this movie is 3 hours and 27 minutes? Because it had an hour and a half of slow motion. It's a lot of these. Put Zack Snyder to
Yeah,
shame.
I was just about to say
with
Zack
slow
Snyder.
motion.
Zack Snyder was co-director. I didn't say that yet.
Good
He co-directed the movie.
Special
I'd say that.
effects fantastic. I thought
Was
the fighting was great. Sean, the CGI animals were a little wonky, but other than that, like I thought like the building, the fire effects, and people fighting and shit and getting blocked, thrown around. There's people on wires getting yanked around and shit, but I thought it looked really cool. And there was a scene where one guy had like a fire thing and rockets were flying around behind him, and another guy had a hose and water.
God. Fucking
I was like,
water fountain blew up. Motherfucker had like a fucking torch in his fucking hand.
That
jumped
shit was-
across.
Sean.
I'm like, dog, stop this.
Sean,
bro.
that shit was awesome.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, dude.
And then homeboy starts singing during the Passion of the Christ. Listen,
Oh my God.
listen.
dog.
RRR gets a hero from me. Hello.
Fuck.
All right. I'm with you. Not with how you felt about it because I did not get any of those vibes. I just thought that these two dudes were friends, like how I'm friends with you guys.
Bro, they
But,
slow motion.
I would
rode
slow motion
a
anything.
horse
for
and a
you guys.
motorcycle side by side, looking lovingly into each other's eyes, smiling, mouths open, open mouth smiling.
That's how I looked when you came in from the airport for the first
That's
time.
how couples look at each other.
That's
Fool.
open mouth smile.
No, you did not.
That is not. If you open mouth smiled at me, Sean would have reached over and slapped you.
He
Because
wasn't
that's
here
what
yet.
happens
We
when
picked
shit
him up
like
after.
that happens.
No, I really, you know what? I was at first like not looking forward to this at all. I'll have to tell you, Jordan, like when you put this in, man, I was like, yo, like
just
all I
one
heard
time
was
for
this
me.
movie
I was
was
like, fuck.
really long. And it was funny too, because like when I started watching it, the kids came in, they're like, is this the movie with the dance scene with the suspenders? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Fuck
Oh,
yeah, it is. Let's
yeah.
watch that shit.
And then I'm like, and I'm like, I guess so. I guess we'll see. Because then I thought, okay,
They
so there's gonna be a
outdanced-
lot of singing and dancing. You
They
know,
outdanced everybody. They outdanced that British fool. They made him fall down. That's hella funny.
so I wasn't sure what to expect. But at the end of the day, like I really liked the story because I thought like it was really cool that you were getting two people who had two different missions that didn't realize they were on the same side, but had to fight each other to accomplish their missions. And I thought that was a really cool piece.
Rom's mission was it's a long way to go to get some guns, dog.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
you
Like,
gotta. I mean, you
God
gotta
damn.
understand. This is there.
It's a
There were
decades
all,
long
Yeah, they were.
plan in motion.
But you saw what his dad said. I mean,
It's just
I
kind of
thought that was-
awfully convenient too. That he's like, we need somebody to find this guy. He's like, I'll do it. Makes a best friend that day. Happens to be that day.
that guy. Well, of course, because if they didn't, and he had him searching for him for
I'll tell you this,
for
though.
months, it
Both
would have
of
been
these
another
guys,
hour long.
Beam and Rom, both of these guys, charismatic as fuck. I think they're both really good.
I agree. I give it a hero. As well.
I didn't know that Rom guy with the beard. When he had the beard, I didn't know it was the same guy with the mustache on the beginning. At first, I was like, "Who's this guy? He's great." They're like, "Oh, it's that same motherfucker." I was getting confused on
I give it a hero. I actually surprisingly enjoyed it a lot. I thought the action was again, it reminded me of, as I was trying to tell Sean this, it reminded me of
such hypocrites.
70s samurai movies, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit,
Hypocrites. I swear
I
to
just
God.
watched it, Sean. I was high on it. You can ask me. I walked in, I was like, I really liked it. What the fuck happened?
I didn't expect to like it. Maybe because I had low standards for it that I came out with a good story.
Opening
I thought the acting
scene
was good.
is a 15-minute fight scene. One dude with a stick versus like an army, and it's fucking great.
Oh man, when he jumped over, I was like, what the hell? But then he was beating the hell out of everybody. Rom, like I was like, holy crap! Yeah, I thought that was good.
Hero, Sean.
Sean.
0.
Right.
He's gonna run the gamut.
Trash. This shit was trash, dog. Yo, y'all funny as shit, dog. Yo, the next time y'all give a fucking movie a low fucking thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna say so. Yo, this movie was dumb as shit. It was dumb.
How?
It was dumb the whole way through. It just everything was just dumb. It just didn't make. I was just like, what am I watching? Like, I was really like watching. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching, dog? Like, I'm just sitting here like, this is dumb as shit. It's low budget. It looks
It's
fake.
not low budget. This is the highest budgeted movie India has ever produced.
That shit looks so fucking fake, and nothing looked real.
The animals were a little wonky, except
it was dumb, dog. Like,
how is he gonna fight a tiger?
The point of the movie was just dumb too. It was just like, what am I watching here?
It's like Indian folklore, like an Indian.
Yeah, this is like
their.
I'm not arguing. This was dumb to me. This was 0 to me. I don't like. I ain't like this movie. I ain't like.
So I will agree that the story for me, like, I like the overall like arcs of the characters, right? Like I like where they start, where they end up, and all that stuff. But like I said, like it felt very weird at the end when they're like, yes, and they all have guns. I'm like, that's the message we're sending. I mean, I get it, it's revolution, but that was
right.
That's
I mean,
they're
fighting for their.
But I had to read the wiki a little because I was super. Here's why: one, I had the English dub and the English subtitles on. Big mistake.
So did I.
One,
I did too.
Don't match.
They were both different. I know.
And whoever they got to do the English dub, like,
it was awful.
It was like, I don't understand you. Like, what's happening? Why are you speaking in a weird fucking accent? Why can't you just speak English what they're saying? Why do you have to sound like? I'm not gonna say it, but why do you?
I know. I know.
What are you doing? So that was a little weird.
What was happening was they were speaking multiple different languages throughout. That's why.
Sean, I know that it did look. Some of it looked like. I mean, the way that they jump through the air and they land on shit, all of it looks like cheap on wire stuff. But for me, I wasn't looking at it from a lens of believability. I was more just like, I've never seen that before. That's fucking cool. Like this guy's gonna run out of a prison with his homeboy doing fucking chicken fighting in the pool, and homeboy's gonna.
Did I miss something? Did he have like superpowers? Did I miss something? Like, did he like?
Well, he super trained himself.
They all have superpowers. Yeah. They're superhuman.
Those two are, not everybody else. Those two are.
A motorcycle as a
he picked it up.
I'm like, did he acquire superpower somewhere?
Don't care. It's fucking awesome.
So he didn't acquire any superpowers or nothing like that, right?
No.
He was just fucking super strong for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Because he trained. They trained. He trained fighting and catching tigers. This is why this
gets a 0 then. Like I thought I missed something. I'm like, did he touch an orb or some shit? Like, did he get superpowers?
No magic orb.
This is why this was.
He lives in the jungle.
Dumb. This was fucking dumb.
I really liked the flashback we got, like where it showed like the kid and like when his dad happened, and like how they were like, oh, you can't use a bullet. Like it costs six fucking.
Well, because he says that in the beginning too. Remember when he was about to shoot Molly's mom?
Yeah.
And he stopped him and he said, "This bullet. Do you know what this bullet costs? It's more than a life." And
because at the end he was like, "This bullet cost this," and then he put in the thing and shot the dude and shot.
Because he was telling Ray Stevenson, yeah, exactly. Proving his point to Ray Stevenson.
I just thought it was tough because Sean reminded me of like video games, hairy situations we get in where I'm like, homeboy was there when he had one gun, limited bullets. He like looked over the thing and there's like 50 dudes. So it's like, takes out one, like, fuck. Takes out one. I'm like, I've been there, dog. I've been there. I've been in that situation before. We were in a fucking round of
Not
sniper
exactly,
the other
but
night
yeah.
that was awful close to that.
Not
Stakes weren't nearly as high a little, but I felt like I I understood him in that moment. You know, I'm like,
Motherfuckers throwing bikes, throwing fucking carriages. Like I'm just
the way
like,
the boy starts committing murder at age 9, just sniping people in the face. That was kind of cool.
nothing was cool.
dude, when he got the arrow and shit, and then had like his super suit, like he got the red
That
pants
was
and everything. It was like
that was Sean.
fucking
That
coming out.
was that right there was like that was like a superpower thing. That because they found that shrine in the middle of the jungle that had the enchanted weapons. So that is kind of like
That's where I was like, I'm like, so did he get his like powers?
Well, and remember,
and you know what? Actually,
he healed him
after
and,
that.
You know,
After they find the shrine and get the enchanted weapons, and he heals homeboy, they do. That is when he picks up the motorcycle. So maybe they do get superpowers from that. Go with that. They got superpowers from that. He was shooting arrows like crazy. Oh, and there was some fucking cool ass choreographed moments. Like one time he shoots an arrow in the dude, and like as he's flying, like he gets punched, then gets an arrow shot in him, and then he takes the arrow out as he's flying.
That goes right
him.
through the guy. Yeah.
Like, what about the one where he shoots the arrow through the tree and it's like right there next to him and he misses it, but then he kicks it, bam, right into his head. Oh, so good. So good.
I think if this was more, I think this was like more. I don't
Sean,
really
if this was an American movie, I'd be much more hard on it.
But
100%.
why though? But why is that? Why
because,
would you?
Because I think it's because
I'm confused by that.
This is like a fairy tale story, Sean. Though,
yeah,
this is like
kind of reminds
like
me
imagine like the never-ending story, right? You see a giant fucking dragon thing flying there. This is similar to that. This is a story about the revolution that fables.
Did you
are
see the way he
about.
jumped over that fence in the beginning and then beat up like 800 people and then walked back and like was like standing at attention and everyone was like, oh, it was a live action cartoon. It was awesome. I thought visually, I thought the scale of some of that stuff.
I don't feel the same way y'all feel about this. This shit was dumb and dumb.
The bridge scene was phenomenal. I was like, like the way when they like he had grabbed the flag. I'm like, why is he grabbing a flag? And then he jumped down and put it in the water. I was like, oh shit.
If this was a karate movie, and it was like more, more fighting, I think I would be more comfortable with it.
But
this is like a karate movie.
But it's not because I'm not.
A lot of story.
I'm not used to that. Like
that's it. You're not used to it.
I'm watching like hidden, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon kind of shit. I'm expecting that from that, and that's where I would expect that.
How many Indian movies have you watched?
None. This is why I don't. Well,
that's why. So you don't know it.
Do they all do this? All the Indian movies do this?
They do a lot. I've actually seen some of the superhero ones from the 70s, and they're crazy. Like, but they do a lot of this crazy stuff, and it's over the top.
You can't tell me on this bullshit. It was.
I think if you don't like it, I think if you don't like it, you don't. And I'm not saying that this is like my cup of tea or anything. And I don't think all Indian cinema is going to be for me. But I think that I like the scale of the fights. I just like the at one point Beam's running away. And Ram is like trying to hold back after he's all fucked up. He's trying to hold back like 6 dudes. And at one point he tangles all of them up and he's just holding them all with his last bit of strength. And as soon as their heads dip over the hill, he lets go. I thought that scene was fucking awesome. It's shit fit that physically I've never seen done on screen before. And I agree. I just think some of that's cool. Some of it's silly. It's really silly when he jumps out with the 2 torches and all the animals. Rah! Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. But like, it's no more silly than the Avengers getting a fucking Wolverine jumping out of a fucking bus. Like
don't even compare that.
It is. It's not realistic. It's it's fantastical.
That's what it is. It's a fairy tale. You got to look at it.
Maybe I am more forgiving of it because it's a foreign movie, and I'm like, oh, good try, little fella. I don't know. Maybe.
That's what I think.
It made $100 million. So for
got nominated for an Oscar. Like it's
Yeah,
It has
it
following.
won an Oscar for Best Original Song. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I thought there was a lot of good in this movie. I love the scene when he was being tortured, man. And the crazy British lady threw down the whip with the thorns. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah, except that
she
it was
wants to
kind of
see
that kind of
blood.
threw me out when Ron was hitting him with it, and then he was like, it was like focusing on Beam, but then like Ron was like, he took the whip and was like running his hand along it.
Yeah, it was
like,
rubber. You can see the rubber thorns. I know. I noticed that too.
Don't do that. It's a bad move.
I noticed that too.
It's a rookie move.
You guys are really proud. You guys are really fucking giving this shit a lot of fucking. Y'all move. There's movies that are way better than this shit that y'all don't give this much credit to. Y'all motherfuckers are hypocrites. I swear to God, you guys are giving this shit a pass just because. Fuck y'all.
I liked it. What do you mean?
I'm not. I liked it.
It's passed because I liked it.
I've given a lot of movies that weren't good passes. I guess maybe because again, when your expectations are low for a movie that you don't know, and you're surprised by it, you enjoy it.
I was watching it like this.
You can't sell me.
I was watching it like this.
I'm not trying to sell you, Sean. We know how you feel. You are opposed to this film. I am not.
I just didn't like it. It just wasn't fun for me. I was just
the only thing I do have to say is it was too damn long.
It was really long.
It was long.
It was really long.
It didn't have to be.
And then, like I said, the friendship scene, the montage of them being friends was it just kept going and going. There's more song. And they just kept walking around in slow motion, looking at each other and shit. And I'm just like, ugh. And then it would like stop. And there'd be like this moment where they would talk for a second about like a lady to like make sure that we knew like they weren't gay for each other. And then, and then stop laughing. And then
I mean, seriously, I did not pick up on that at all. But, I guess,
but then it goes right back into the fucking song, and they're walking around in slow motion again. It's like immediately right back in, and it's like, damn, the song is still going. Back to horseback.
It's like this movie reminded me of like a spoof movie. it was like a spoof movie, or like, it's like a comedy movie.
It does. You know, it feels
like this.
It feels like filmmakers who are just trying new things, and they're trying to emulate things that they've seen on screen in Western films, and they're trying to really put it all together. And they have these silly cartoony scenes, like where an arrow comes through the smoke and you see him standing there, and then it goes away. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I mean,
or like the crazy back where like camera zooms way back on the bridge.
What was the fucking
for like 40 seconds? And then
was the point of him holding the rope, and then the rope was hanging, he was hanging, and then all of a sudden you see fire and water merging together, and that's it.
Because it's telling you a story. It's a story.
It's fable. It's their storytelling style. Why was there 2 title cards? I don't fucking know that either. But I don't know.
Because one was fire and one was water.
It was so stupid.
But one said fire and one said RRR, revolt.
And
because it's the revolution.
But then after that, it just jumps to a whole nother scene. Dog. It's like, wait, what? What was that? What the fuck was that?
I was confused. I was confused because like it was like prison fight, RRR, running from the wolf. Who the fuck is this guy? Now the wolf is fighting. Okay, now he's running from a tiger. What's happening? Who's this guy?
Beam.
Oh.
He's fucking playing rope-a-dope with that tiger.
He got his ass slashed by that tiger too.
I do not want to watch these movies ever again. Do not include me in any of these reviews because I will
dear
not.
Listener. Sean can say whatever he wants, but
I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you did. I do, and thank you for having us watch it. But man, this is not my cup of tea, dog. It was a spoof movie to me. I'm just like watching. I'm like, this is there gonna be like somebody's gonna pop up like, haha, this is a joke. I don't know. Like it just didn't work for me, man. None of it. I just did not like it.
Yeah, I guess I felt like I was
motions. The constant slow motions were just like,
there was a lot of
what are we doing? Like, stop. I just wanted to stop. Like, yo, like stop doing these slow motions. Like, I don't just play the movie.
You didn't like it when he was like all covered with all the dog piled on him, and he was just like slowly like moved his arm a little bit, like break. Eventually, just the whole pile crumbled.
No,
that's fucking great. I thought that was so good. He grabs him by like the ear. He's dragging him through the crowd. Whack. It's so good.
You guys,
it's silly. It's silly, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it.
That's what it was. It was just silly.
I had a lot. Maybe I was like high and I was able to enjoy it, and it's just a silly, fun ride.
Maybe I should have been high. That's what I should have been. That probably.
Sean, that's my secret, Sean. That's my Sean. That's my secret.
I don't know. All right,
I was not, and I still enjoyed it. So,
there's some funny. I don't know. Like there was like that scene where where he sets the trap and it hit the tree, hits the car that Ray Stevenson is in, and he flies in the air like.
Yo,
and he grabs that rifle in midair.
And he brings the rifle and just still shoots. I'm like, what, is he standing on something? Is he still in the air?
And then
like,
when he shoots the car like just flips to the side and everyone flies out.
I'm like, wait.
I love it. It's ridiculous. It's cartoon physics. It's a live action cartoon. It is a fairy tale on screen. They don't have dragons and fairies. They have British occupiers. Their fairy tales are a lot more sad about their.
But I mean, so I'm pulling up some reviews on it. So somebody wrote here, which is very telling. Kind of what we got here is like, if you're not from the culture, it's difficult, and it's difficult not to laugh at. And he's like, my wife is Bengali, and for her, this movie just makes sense, movie sense. For me, as a Swedish person, it's a laughing stock, sort of like watching Twilight. Things just make no sense, and it's crazy, unfathomable action scenes. But his wife, who is used to this type of storytelling, loved it and understood everything. So, I mean, I get it, Sean. Like, you do not like this type of storytelling, and I get it.
Yeah, and there's like those like Mexican soap operas. Like, I'm not trying to watch that shit either, but they got an audience, dog. They got an audience.
Yeah. Shit, even our soap operas are fucking terrible, and they get an audience. So,
Days of Our Lives is still on. That show's older than me.
So, I enjoyed it. Thank you, Jordan. It's too hard to go beat for beat because this review would be like 10 hours long.
Well, I mean, we kind of did. We went over the highlights. We talked about scenes that we liked, the best beats. I still think. I thought just some of it was kind of like, I thought it was kind of funny. Like they were like, they're talking all this shit. Oh, he's been in prison for months. This and this and this. He's a shell of a man. He hasn't had food and whatever. And he's going to be nothing. And they turn the corner and it's like the fucking music starts. And he's just fucking yanking pull-ups. It's all huge.
Exactly. That's
funny.
A superpower. He's just superhuman.
I thought the music was good too. Like the fucking, the horns, like the orchestra almost reminded me of like Bram Stoker's Dracula. Like every time, like sounded serious, like Bram. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I was kind of transported to another place that
had a lot of drama. It was very, with the music, like the music, turned up with that drama, especially like, when he's trying to get him to kneel and he won't, but then he goes off singing, but he's singing to like. He gets the entire crowd, and that's what, and I love that because that's what Rom sees. Rom thinks it's about the guns because that's what his dad taught him. Like, get everybody a gun, but then he sees Beam just with his words and his actions incited an entire riot, and got everybody on his side. So he didn't need the guns. He needs that person. He needs somebody like that. He needs to be that type of person, and then they merge together.
But the runtime is killer because you have this whole Beam subplot with the girl Jenny, and who gives a shit about any of that really? And then you have like, there's just a lot of downtime.
Yeah,
where you don't need it. There's like these fucking long scenes of them being friends together. There's just a lot. It just goes and goes.
If it was somehow cut by an hour, it probably would have been a better cohesive story. But I get it. I mean, we have our own giant 3-hour movies, Fucking Titanic took forever. I wanted to fucking kill myself watching that movie. So
Sean, better than Titanic?
Better than Titanic? No.
I would rather watch this again than Titanic. That's my opinion. So
Yeah, whatever.
I hate Titanic.
I think I would rather watch this Titanic.
So, all right. Thank you again for listening.
Thank you, Jordan, again. Thank you.
If you've seen RRR, please in the comments let us know what you thought. Are you with me and Steve, or are you with Sean? I am curious. Because I'm curious. I am. Because I know most of the people that listen to us that we all like superhero genre. We all like these type of things, horror movies. Is this something that you enjoyed? And is there another movie that is like this that you would recommend us try? So,
and I also liked doing this. I liked that we took the guesswork out of it. Jordan paid the bill and he fucking said, review this, and that's what we do. So if any of you out there want us to do this, if you have an idea, a movie you want us to talk about for a little bit, maybe one of us will hate it and the other two will love it. We can fight about it for a little while.
Go to our Patreon site and check it out. So.
Check it out.
And that's it. This is Lil.
This is Sean.
And this is Steve. Until next time, everybody, keep it geeky.